House fires cost us over $6.5 billion every year. Which appliance is putting you most at risk, and why fire prevention skills aren't just for the little ones?
Public versus private. Today we learn about a private school here on Delmarva that stresses sports just as much as academics. Plus, women making strides in a so-called man's world, how a local athlete is breaking boundaries and rewriting the rules of the game.
And the chef from Horizons taking over our kitchen today. We are making pumpkin farro risotto. Delmarva Live starts right now.
And it's cooking already, so I can smell it. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Lisa Bryant.
I'm Jimmy Hopple. Welcome to Delmarva Live from historic Studio D.
And as always, we'd like to welcome our studio audience today.
Thank you guys for coming.
A lot of folks pumped up, a lot of folks tired from watching baseball again last night.
The O's headed to the Bronx with a split in their best-of-5 AL Division Series against the Yankees following a 3-2 win in Game 2 last night. So they're going to New York. The rest of the series is going to be played in the Bronx.
And St. Louis jumped on Washington starter Jordan Zimmerman with 5 runs on 7 hits in 3 innings and routed the Nationals 12-4 in Game 2 of the NLDS to knot that series at a game apiece. Yeah.
Well, I want to paraphrase what I heard somebody say this morning, that not only were the Nats beaten, they had their rear end handed to them.
I heard they were carded.
Carded. See ya.
A lot of stuff out there, yeah.
Big thing going on today.
Yeah.
Peninsula Regional Medical Center announcing, or they're continuing their expansion to advance healthcare services into the Millsboro area.
Yeah, and we're going to take a look at it right now.
Have we got it here? There it is.
There it is. This is
groundbreaking for the Delmarva Health Pavilion at Millsboro. 48,000 square feet in the pavilion. It's right in the heart of Millsboro, easy access off 113. And good news as far as jobs.
Yeah, 75 to 100 new jobs are expected to locate to Millsboro at the pavilion's completion. This pavilion is expected to open next summer,
That's
2013.
Awesome. That is terrific.
So wonderful
Great
for PRMC. Glad to hear it.
Great moves, great strides. Thanks a bunch there.
Also something happening in the Millsboro area. Were you going there too?
Punkin Chunkin.
Punkin Chunkin. I feel like I should let you talk about it.
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, you've been to Punkin Chunkin. If you've been to Punkin Chunkin, you know how much fun it is. It's coming up November 2nd through the 4th. But what we want to talk about this afternoon is the fact that they handed out, you may not even know they do this, 27 scholarships last night totaling $50,000.
Wow, isn't that great?
It's a lot of fun. It's incredible, the machinery you see, but it's very community oriented, and they pump the money right back into the local community.
Right.
And these scholarships are just one of the things they do. Over the past 26 years, they've awarded more than $250,000 in scholarships and
it's getting so big. I mean, you know, it's always been a worldwide event, but with the Discovery Channel coming in, Mythbusters coming in to do specials on it, it's huge.
I still sit in front of my TV and say, oh, that's us. There, we're on TV. Look at it. That's us.
Yeah, so cool.
Pretty good stuff.
Yeah.
Latest survey from the National Retail Federation, you know things are getting kind of tough. The economy's been down. Money's kind of tight. So everybody's thinking, well, can't spend a whole lot of money. Not the case. It turns out that this report says a record 170 million Americans plan to spend $8 billion on, you know what? Halloween.
Halloween,
Carving out a
really?
little extra cash to be a zombie.
That's a lot of candy corn, I tell you.
Oh, yes, it is. Yes, it is. Well, and what they're saying is apparently the harder the times, the more intense the desire to escape.
Okay.
Like behind masks or costumes.
Okay, I can see
it
that.
sort of makes sense,
Yeah,
though. I
that
never
makes
looked at
sense.
it, though.
I just don't like the scary costumes, you know?
You don't like a good zombie?
I don't like a good zombie.
I saw a great zombie PSA. We talked about this.
Oh, yeah.
And was it the American Heart Association that put out this PSA?
Yeah.
I think it was.
Yeah.
About doing CPR. And it's like a 2.5-minute public service announcement that's got zombies showing you how to do CPR and why it's such a good thing. You can look it up on YouTube. You'll find it there. I can't remember the name of it now, but if you search for it, Zombies CPR, you'll find it. It'll show up. Can I have my geek moment now?
Yes.
Okay, geek moment.
Geek
when I was a little
moment.
kid, I loved going out to find fossils because where I lived, there was a whole field of them, and it was amazing. You could pick up just off the top. Seriously. It was a place called White Mound. Picked up trilobites, all kinds of shells. It was amazing. This, though, is a very unusual thing. What they found was a piece of amber, which is old tree sap. Now, if you look real closely at this, you can see There's a spider, obviously. If you look towards the bottom, there is the wasp that the spider caught in its web. Those lines through the picture are the web. This is supposed to be like a 100-million-year-old snapshot of an engagement frozen in time.
Right.
It's extremely rare, this particular one, and in fact, in other places in the web, they actually found what was left of a male spider. So, my little geek moment right there. And they're saying it is so rare. It's the only fossil evidence of a spider attacking its prey in its web, and I think it's an amazing thing to see.
Obviously, didn't get to eat its prey.
Apparently not. It's right there.
It's
I can almost
frozen in time.
I can't quite. Yeah.
Hey, weird things happening on Delmarva with animals lately. I don't know. I just found this interesting. Remember, there was an alligator in Fruitland.
Oh, yeah.
They caught it.
Yeah,
Well, apparently, last night there was a cow on the loose in Fruitland.
A cow
they
in
had they had to shut down traffic on 13 so that the police could go out and run after this cow.
Round up the cow.
Round up the cow. Yeah.
Do we call them cow cops now?
Cow cops, I don't know. But I just thought that was
Fruitland.
can you imagine driving along, cow?
Sounds like a movie line, doesn't it?
Yeah, really, a Twister or something. And then 2 weeks ago, I don't know if you remember, I don't know if we talked about it on the show, a horse got loose on Route 50 in Easton.
Oh, yeah,
and it
shut
was
the highway down.
same thing. It was the same deal where they had to shoot down the highway. What's this mean, Jimmy? What does all this mean?
I don't know, Lisa. But I think probably we need to fix the fence.
You're probably right there.
So shall we go on with what else is becoming more popular around here, whether we like it or not?
You don't want to hear this.
Stink bugs. Yeah, stink bugs are coming back in a big way in Maryland. The U.S. Agriculture Department entomologist Tracy Lesky says the population of the brown marmorated stink bug, which I suppose is what that is right there, is up 60% in Frederick County from a year ago.
Right, right.
And that's a big deal because even though it's higher than last year, the numbers still aren't as high as 2010. And what they ended up doing to try to get rid of them, the federal regulators actually allowed growers to try to fight these insects with certain pesticides that aren't registered for orchard applications. Researchers are still looking for other solutions, such as maybe baited traps to try to get these things, and they're looking at bringing in another bug, and I know we've gotten ourselves in trouble with this before, but it's called the wheel bug.
Wheel?
The wheel bug may take care of the brown marmorated stink bug.
Okay.
Yeah.
May.
Oh, there's also an Asian wasp. They're saying that could take care of this thing as well.
Goodness gracious.
So,
it's crazy. And this
is
Maryland, which is not to say that they're not going to have the problem in Delaware and Virginia as well.
Exactly. So they're just trying to approach it first. Now, while we're talking about bugs.
Okay. You're on a bug.
I'm on a bug roll today.
I'm a bug roll today.
I'm a wheel bug today. There is an event, you know, whenever you have a museum put on a fundraiser. I always think it's great. I love going to museums and seeing the things there. The Academy of Natural Sciences in Philadelphia has a fundraiser coming up for their museum, and they've got a very special deal going on. For only $100 a ticket, okay, just $100 a ticket, you can nosh on crickets, worms, and farm-raised python.
For just
I'm just
a
going
low,
to let that
price
I'm
of
just going to let that
$100.
settle with you for just a little bit. Worms, crickets, and farm-raised python.
Okay. Aside from the python, you can come to my house for $50 and nosh on those.
You'd let me do that?
I would. You can have all the crickets you want.
You are the
I might
bomb.
even throw in some fruit flies.
You would
Heck,
do that.
I could probably find a field mice if I looked hard enough.
I'd give you 75.
Hopefully. Hopefully there's no pythons.
No python? If you find the mice, then that's... Anyway, it's an adults-only cocktail party. It's October the 27th, and they're calling it Cuisine from the collections.
Yeah, I gotta be rushing out to get my tickets for
that.
that.
It sounds like fun.
You know, when we come in the morning, we kind of look at some of the things that we're going to talk about later on in the afternoon. And one of the things that you had put in there was spat.
Spat.
You want to talk about spat.
Talking spat.
From spiders to spat.
Spiders and spat. No other show in the afternoon is going to give you spiders and spat. Actually, what the deal is, volunteers from Purdue were working with something other than chicken. What they did was they filled and distributed more than 200 cages of spat, and now 24 Nanticoke River residents are going to foster the 175,000 baby oysters for the next 9 months. They will eventually be they'll be planted next year, next summer. They're going to be suspended from the homeowners' private piers on the Nanticoke River. See, this is my kind of pet. Put it in a cage, put it in the water, come back 9 months later.
There you go. It doesn't cuddle with you well.
No.
No.
But that's okay. I don't mind that.
And I don't know if you can train it, teach it tricks.
You never know.
You never
Swim.
know. Maybe the first.
Speaking
we
of,
have more spat, don't we?
We want to speak of more spat. Speaking of spat, Horn Point Lab, Oyster Hatchery of the University of Maryland Center for Environmental Science produced a record number of oysters this year as part of their efforts to restore the Chesapeake Bay. Hatchery produced more than 880 million oyster spat this year. Who gets to count?
Yeah, right?
Anyway, it's the 5th year in a row that they've produced over 500 million. Now, you hear us talk about the Horn Point Lab a lot and everything they're doing to try to restore the bay, certainly with oysters. If you're curious about this, take the kids, show them what it's all about. They've got a tour coming up of the Oyster Hatchery. It's going to be 10 to 3 Saturday. It's part of the Horn Point Lab open house called Bay and Beyond. It's going to be 10 to 3 on Saturday. They're 2020 Horns Point Road in Cambridge. If you want to know more about it, there's the number to call, 410-221-8433. And they're also, didn't know about this until this morning, they're also holding the 2nd annual Spat Dash race.
There you go.
Horn Point Lab.
More spat.
8 to noon.
No, but Horn Point is a beautiful place. If you've never been there before.
I haven't been there.
You've never been there before?
I
It's
hate to admit that.
beautiful. It's
Really?
beautiful, yeah. Just to go out there and visit.
Nice.
Science aside,
Yeah.
it's a great place to
gorgeous.
go. All right, we're done talking about spat, right?
We might bring up spat later.
We might have a spat
Might
later.
have a spat later.
I want to talk about triathletes.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a few triathletes. Well, we're going to talk with a triathlete in just a little bit, but I want to tell you about Lance Armstrong. You know, he had a rough summer. He was stripped of all of his wins in the Tour de France.
He's been fighting this thing for so long.
Yeah, he just gave up.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now he is running triathlons, and he actually won one over the weekend in Howard County, finishing the 70-mile race in just under 4 hours, 11 minutes. That's near your time, isn't it?
Not by days.
The effort by the famous cyclist and embattled 7-time Tour de France winner in the combined swimming, biking, and running event was organized by the Almond Cancer Fund for young adults to raise money for cancer awareness. And in that picture there, his daughters were helping him.
Was that
over the, his daughter
nice.
Isabella, and I can't remember the name of his other daughter. But anyway,
70 miles, 4 hours.
Yeah. Swimming, biking, running.
I don't think I could do that in the car.
You don't think so?
No.
Another neat thing that happened over the weekend. You've seen the movie Say Anything. Has anybody seen the movie Say Anything?
Old classic.
Yeah, we got a
80s.
couple people. 80s, yeah, I know. We're going back to the 80s when John Cusack holds the boombox up in the air as the Peter Gabriel song is playing. Well, over the weekend, out in Hollywood, Peter Gabriel was doing a concert, his 25th anniversary of his So album.
Yeah.
In Your Eyes is the name of the song, and he went to play that song, and who other than John Cusack comes out on stage with a boombox.
Really?
There he is. How cool is that? Oh, I would have loved to have been there. Yeah, that's an 80s cult classic film. Featured Cusack as a guy who held the boombox over his head, like I said. He was in love with this girl. You know, it's the perfect little, I'll do anything, I love you kind of movie.
Yeah.
Oh, it just makes me cry thinking about it.
Well, still to come on Delmarva Life this afternoon. Just wanted to let you know it only takes a few seconds of carelessness for your home to go up in flames. And up next, what appliances in your home are putting you at risk and how you can avoid it.
And later, the actors now meet their moms. We'll get an inside look at tonight's new episode of NCIS Los Angeles. See what happens when the moms join their sons on the set and in the show. Delmarva Life, like it is best here on Delmarva.
Delmarva Life is brought to you by Sussex County Federal Credit Union, guiding you to your financial future. Peninsula Regional Medical Center, honored to serve the entire Delmarva Peninsula since 1897. And your local York and Mitsubishi dealers.